The scream from the depths, did you hear it? That low, haunting moan rising from the bottom of the sea? When ships vanished in the silence of the night, there was only one reason, and no one dared to speak its name. Kraken. They thought no one had seen it, but sailors, lips trembling, spoke of that dark moment. When they locked eyes with it, the stars themselves hid their light. There were only the massive coiling arms rising from the water, snapping wood, tearing sails, dragging the screaming down into the black. Kraken was no myth. It was a legacy of fear, curse upon the waters. The name Kraken first echoed in ancient Norse legends. Scandinavian sailors told stories of ships disappearing while fishing the deep. Those who returned had the same terror in their eyes. The sea would rise, the waters would boil, the sky would darken, and Kraken would rise, huge, beyond human comprehension. Sometimes as large as an island, sometimes as swift as a storm. Once you saw it, you would never forget it. Kraken was not just a monster, it was the wrath of the sea, a reminder from the dark depths that humanity did not rule the ocean, lived only as long as the sea allowed it. When the hunt begins, the sea looks calm, waves gently lap, seagulls fall silent. Then, a vibration rises from beneath the water. Kraken is coming. At first, sailors don't notice, and the sea begins to swell, the water darkens. Fish leap to the surface, as if trying to flee. But it's already too late. A massive shadow rises beneath the ship. In that silent moment, everyone knows something is wrong. Then, the first arm breaks through the water. The creaking of wood, the tearing of sails, the screams of men, all blend together. As Kraken's arms wrap around the ship, the sky darkens, the wind dies. Kraken did not hunt like a storm. It came from silence. It left no hope for escape, grabbing the ship, crushing it, dragging souls into the depths. Some began to pray. Some screamed, tried to run, slipped, fell, but none escaped. For Kraken, the hunt was a game. To it, humans were nothing but struggling shadows in the silence. The moment of Kraken's attack became the last memory burned into sailors' minds. Those arms rising from the water, the massive silhouette reaching for the sky. The final thing they saw was deep darkness, the dark secret of the Kraken. Why did Kraken attack? Is it because it was hungry? Or was the sea itself speaking through it? Legends say Kraken was no ordinary creature. Some claimed it was the spirit of the sea itself. Others believed it was formed from the curses of drowned sailors, gathering into one monstrous force. Norwegian fishermen spoke of the sea turning black before Kraken appeared, as if the ocean was darkening with the hatred it held within. Kraken didn't just sink ships, it restored balance. When the sea grew crowded, when humans overstepped, it would rise to reclaim what was its own. Kraken was a warning. The sea did not belong to man. Those who disturbed its peace would taste its wrath. Some sailors survived after seeing Kraken, but their eyes were never the same again. They would wake up screaming in the middle of the night, seeing that darkness in their minds. Even with eyes closed, they saw those massive arms. They would hear a low hum calling them back to the depths, waking drenched in sweat. But Kraken held another secret. There was a legendary group of sailors who tried to stop it. They formed a plan to defeat Kraken. But no one understood how heavy the price of that plan would be. Those who defied the Kraken was unstoppable. But some chose to chase the impossible. Legend tells of a group of sailors who swore to bring down the Kraken. At their lead was Captain Arvid, an old sea wolf, who knew the ocean's cruelty well. He had lost his brother to Kraken, spending days searching the wreckage of his ship. All he found was a broken mast and a low hum rising from the dark waters. That day Arvid swore, "I will return from this sea with the Kraken's corpse, or I will remain here forever." Arvid gathered the bravest sailors. Some had lost family, others friends, to the Kraken's darkness. For them, this was more than revenge. It was a way to end the sea's curse. Preparations took months. Strong nets, sharp harpoons, a ship that would not sink even in a storm. But above all, they had resolve. The sailors spent weeks on dark waters, studying the Kraken's patterns, where it rose, when it attacked, what weather it preferred. Finally, the day came. The sea was silent, the air was cold. When the water's surface turned black, everyone held their breath. Kraken was coming. The waters swelled, massive arms broke through the sea, a thunderous hum echoed. The ship shook. But Arvid and his sailors did not flinch, because there was no turning back now. Today, the Kraken would either fall silent, or they would all sink into the dark. Death and silence, Kraken's massive arms rose from the sea, reaching for the sky. The ship shook, masts cracked, sailors gripped the ropes, Arvid's eyes locked onto the darkness. Now, he shouted, nets were thrown. Sharp harpoons flew, aiming to pierce the giant limbs. Kraken's skin was slick, its thick hide pushing the spears back. But the sailors did not give up. Kraken slammed the water in rage. Waves crashed over the ship, tossing sailors aside. Some fell into the sea, pulled under by the curling arms. Screams were swallowed by the roaring waves. Arvid closed his eyes, remembering his brother. When he opened them, he had one purpose: to drive his spear into Kraken's eye. As the wave rocked the ship, Arvid leaped, driving his spear into the rising arm of the Kraken. A deep, rumbling roar echoed. Kraken twisted in pain, blood mixing with the sea. Kraken did not stop. Its other arms wrapped around the ship, breaking the wood. The sailors screamed as the vessel began to splinter. Arvid shouted one last time. To fight the sea is to respect the sea. Kraken pulled Arvid into the water. They locked eyes. In that moment, Arvid understood the sea, and the Kraken shared the same breath. The ship sank. The sea fell silent. Kraken retreated into the depths. All that remained of Arvid and his men were the shattered timbers floating on the waves. But that day, the sailors' courage forced Kraken back into the deep. Kraken did not die. It waits. For the day the seas grow too crowded. For the day humanity oversteps again. It will rise once more end. The sea will reclaim what is its own. If you enjoyed this dark tale, subscribe and comment which mythological creature's story you want next. Be ready before the darkness rises.